Alright guys, so this video is going to help you with your angles with triangles day 2 assignment, okay? I'm going to have basically 4 examples, but again, they're all based off the fact that all the angles in a triangle, any triangle, adds up to 180. Alright, so let's look at the number 1. So these ones are going to be dealing with equations. You're going to have x's, okay? Number 1, you have a triangle. They gave you 3 angles, solve for x. You know that these 3 in a triangle should add up to 180. So 70 plus 60 plus 4x plus 6, these 3 should equal 180. That is your equation. All right, so 70 plus 60 plus 6, that's 136. And you still have the 4x there, equals 180. And now you're just solving for x. Subtract the 136 to the other side. Still have the 4x here. And when you subtract that, you get 44. And then divide by 4, x equals 11. Now, the problem might tell you to take it a step further. It might actually ask you what is that angle, so you just have to plug in the 11 for x and solve. But I think most of them is just solve for x. So that would be your answer, x equals 11. Now, for the second example, just additional work needs to be done. Again, you know that the angles in a triangle add up to 180, but you don't have any angles in there, you just have this 2x. These 2 angles, again, linear pair, since it's a straight line, these add up to 180. So this should be 60 degrees. And you know that these 2 angles right here, these are vertical angles. So since this angle is 8x plus 10, this angle is also 8x plus 10. Okay, so these are vertical angles. Now you have your 3 angles. It's the same thing as example number 1 now. You do 2x plus 60 plus 8x plus 10. These 3 added up together should equal 180. And now you're just solving for x. So 2x, 8x, those 2 together is 10x. 60 and 10, that's 70. We're just going to solve for x. So subtract 70 to the other side. You have 10x equals 110. Divide by 10. And you get x equals 11 also. I didn't even mean to do that. Okay. So, yep. So that's how you solve for this example. Now let's jump into something that is new, okay? Over here, your assignment's going to be dealing near the end, so isosceles triangles, okay? Isosceles triangles, the definition of an isosceles triangle is just a triangle with 2 congruent sides and 2 congruent angles. They're base angles. I'm actually going to just add that, base angles. All right, so I'm going to show you 2 examples on how to deal with this. These are very, very similar to your assignment. All right, so the first one, this is an isosceles triangle because you see these 2 symbols, these lines, these mean that this side is congruent to this side. So this is an isosceles triangle. So that means that the base angles that are across from those sides, this and this, should be also congruent. So if this is 40, this should also be 40. Now solving for y should be pretty easy. If you have 40, 40, and these 3 add up to 180, so 40 plus 40, that's 80. So y should equal 100. All right, this one's a little trickier though. All right, again, this is an isosceles triangle, and they want you to find angle z. You have 2 congruent sides. The base angles should be equal to each other. So if this is z, this is also z. This is the tricky part. So you can just put a z here also. And again, these 3 should add up to 180. So 50 plus z plus another z should equal 180. And now you just solve for z. So 50 plus 2z. Subtract the 50. You get 2z equals 130. Divide by 2, and z equals 65 degrees. This is the one that's going to be a little tricky. All right, but again, if you're still stuck, I know I talk fast, just rewatch the video or just ask me any questions, okay?